Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new story. The name of this story is What If Naruto Was Kaguya's Husband's Reincarnation, and yeah guys, it is an unscripted story. And before continuing this, shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to my boy Twilight Knight for suggesting this idea. It's kind of a Yandere Kaguya-ish and neglected Naruto-ish idea. So yeah, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure Sato on October 10th in nighttime. Everything was going according to plan of Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage of the said village, as we go towards the outer skirts where his wife has gone into labor. Why was she there, not in a hospital room, you might ask? Well, she was a special human. She was a Jinchuriki, a human sacrifice that was used to seal bijus, which were a strong entities made out of chakra and existed from the time of Sage and walked amongst them, had sealed within her, and the strongest one at that, the Kyubi no Yoko. As she going into labor meant that her seal was close to breaking out, and it was a possibility that the biju might free her itself, and that it was trying, as Minato was trying to stabilize the seal as Kushina was in labor. And after much more effort, they were successful, as the twins Naruto and Mito were born. As the parents were happy until, that is, Kushina noticed something that was off with Naruto. Unlike Mito, which was a little bit paler and looking healthier with red hair and blue eyes like Minato, without any scars or facial marks on her skin. Altogether, Naruto was different. He had whisker marks like birthmarks on his face, and he possessed a chakra that was so huge and something akin to Kyubi as well, as both of the parents were quite shocked, heartbroken and even worried. Minato, do you think that the Kyubi might have affected him when he was... I don't know, Kushina. Only Biwaku-sama can tell this. As before they could talk anymore, they heard a third sound of falling of someone to the ground. As Minato checked to see that it was Biwaku and every other nurse surrounding them, as they were now left shocked and scared of what was going on. As that is when Minato, regaining his senses, was now in a defensive position over his wife, as Kushina was a protective mother of both of her children, as she was looking left and right. That is until she saw that Naruto was nowhere in her arms anymore. Wait, Naruto? Where is Naruto, Minato? What? As that is when they heard a voice. Well, what do we have here? Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki, having children of their own after orphaning so many of the kids in the third grade shinobi war. What do you think, Minato? Is it possible for you, a murderer, to have children of your own after, well, orphaning many? What makes you think that I did so? I had no other choice. We always have a choice, Minato. What choice did I have? It was a war. I warned them. They were the ones rushing towards our home. I had every right to defend myself. Yet in the end, your decision cost many lives. Who are you? I know you're not here just to tell me about my past and make me regret my actions. I know what I did, and me being a shinobi, I'm not proud of it though, but I have to live with it. That is what we shinobis have to do. Correct. At least you're not that dumb. Well, regardless of what you say, I have your child as my captive now. What do you want? What I want is Kyubi no Yoko. What? What do you mean by that? Your wife, Minato. I want the Jinchuriki who keeps the Kyubi no Yoko. Now hand her over and I will hand you back your son. As Minato narrowed his eyes, as Kushina then said, Minato, it's fine. As she made a clone that held it on to, well, Mito, as she began to walk limpingly towards the moss person. I'm here. Hand him over my son. No can do, Kushina, I know he's fast enough. As suddenly a hissing sound was heard as she saw Naruto's cloak that in which he was wrapped around had a lot of, well, explosive tags which hissed and knew they were going to explode soon, as Naruto was yanked, literally yeeted out of the window there onto the ground, as Minato, yelling no, dashed towards Naruto, able to save him. As now we see Naruto being saved, he had to get back to see that Kushina's clone was also on the ground. My connection is getting weaker, Minato. Protect our children. I will be okay. Just wait for me, Kushina. I'm gonna take them to safe house. I will come to find you next. As after doing so and leaving a clone of his own to protect his kids, he left to search for Kushina. And as he arrived, he found that Kushina was unconscious and the man was standing there. What have you done? What was needed to be done, Minato? Look behind you. As Minato turned behind to see the huge Kyuubi no Yoko looming over its village, as it roared, and that is suddenly something changed in its behavior. The Kyuubi became still. Now that you're under my command, attack Konoha and leave nothing alive. What? What do you mean under your command? As that is when the Kyuubi went rampaging again. As the shinobis began to evacuate from Chunin to Genin, the civilians to shelters alongside them, as well as the clan children, as well as clan heads, trying their best to protect at the front lines, arrived alongside with Jonins and Anbus. As Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, who was retired, also joined the battle, taking the charge, knowing that Minato was not present there. You will pay for this, whoever you are. As a battle commenced between the marksperson as well as Minato. Minato was able to cause a lot of damage to the person and injure him, but the marksperson was a genius man. He was able to escape by showing Minato the reality that he had to face. Either chase him or either go back to save his village. Minato obviously knew the choice. He had to protect the village, knowing that he was a Kage. He arrived at the battlefield front hand, as he, alongside Gamabunta, tried to even out the battle, but that didn't seem to work, as Minato, now running out of options, knew he only had one choice. As Kushina arrived, using her adamantium chains in weakened state, she did her best to uphold the Biju. Minato, go get Naruto and Mito. It is our only option to make them the Jinchuriki. I wish to be a Jinchuriki, but I can't. Not after what I went through. My body won't be able to hold up the Biju. Damn it, is there no other way, Kushina? Said Minato. No, you have to hurry. I can barely hold on any longer. I'll try to buy as much as time you want, kid. Go, Minato, said Gamabunta, as Gamabunta was attacking Kyuubi as well. As Hiruzen said, people, we need to buy time for Minato until he arrives. As now the Jonins had some sort of resolve, knowing that they might have the chance to even out, or at least buy time for their Kage, believing completely in him. And Minato didn't disappoint. He arrived with his children and began to prepare the seals at an altar that appeared in a puff of smoke, as both of them had 8 pentagram seals. Who are we gonna use as the Jinchuriki? We can't split them without using the seal. No, we're not gonna use that. That is a cursed seal, Minato. Our souls, both of them, will be trapped forever. I won't allow you to use it. Then what are we gonna do? How are we gonna stop that monster? Only one way. You have to use the 9 pentagram seal, Minato. 9 pentagrams on both of them? Split the soul and chakra into 2 pieces, and seal the soul in Naruto and the chakra in Mito, or vice versa. But Mito is stronger, said Minato. She will be able to hold the chakra, I think, Kushina. Do what you have to do. I can barely hold on. As that is when something interesting happened. Naruto cried, and because of his cries, huge amount of echoes were called out, as literally the Kyuubi was deafened, and so was everyone else. As Kyuubi was now unconscious, as everyone was still. Who caused that? What caused that? Said Hiruzen, as everyone was looking left and right for an answer, as both of the parents had one. Naruto. What was that? That was not a human-like voice. As Naruto was still crying, but they knew what they had to do. Minato, we don't have time. Kyuubi's regaining his conscious, said Gamabunta, as Minato knew what he had to do. He sealed the soul inside Naruto and the chakra inside Mito. And after the Kyuubi was sealed and locked away, everyone cheered and celebrated. And then Minato stopped them. This is no moment to celebrate. As everyone stopped. We have to gather as much as people who are buried under the debris, as well as the bodies of those who have passed away, and prepare for a funeral. Get yourself ready, because it is a long night. We have to work together again, young people. As Minato was busy dealing with his people, Kushina, who was holding on to both of her kids, noticed something. Naruto's eyes flashed red like Kyuubi's before turning back to their normal self, as Kushina now had a dread looming over her. As she, reached back home to their safe house with Minato, as both of them were happy until Kushina broke the news. Minato, I think there's something wrong with Naruto. What do you mean by that, Kushina? Naruto, he was... I mean, I saw... I think it was a hallucination, but I think I saw what I saw, Minato. I'm sure of it. His eyes flashed red like Kyuubi's. I know those eyes anywhere. Kyuubi's soul still exists, and it's trying to break free. The seal didn't work properly. Check the seal for me, Minato. As Minato did check the seal to find that in a hurry, he has not written down some of the kanjis, but the seal was active, being a defective seal that was holding the soul of the Biju. It is not safe to keep them close, Kushina. Not only Naruto will get hurt, but Mito can get as well. And the seal, it's not working properly. What if the Kyuubis try to take over his consciousness and gains Naruto's body? That won't happen. As then it happened again. As Naruto's eyes flashed again, with red, with slits, as both of the parents this time saw, as now they were concerned. And before they could talk, that is when Jiraiya appeared. But why the long faces? I thought you would be happy after saving the village, kid. And not only that, having kids of your own. As that is when Jiraiya saw Naruto's eyes flashing for the third time, and the only time, before they returned back to normal forever. What was that? Was those Kyuubi's eyes that I saw, Minato? Sensei, keep it down. We don't know yet. I mean, I checked the seal. There are some things missing. Some kanjis that I didn't wrote down in a hurry. Damn it, it's all my fault. Shit. What if the Kyuubis take over him? There is a chance, Minato. And it's not good for both of them to be in the same room. If you have made two seals, sealing the soul away and the chakra away of the Biju. I know, Sensei. What should we do? I brought the news of my own, Minato, that I wish to reveal to you today. What news? The toads have given me the prophecy. A child of yours will be born with the power to destroy the world. And we have to make sure that this doesn't happen. What? What do you mean by that? Said Kushina. I'm sorry, Kushina, but I think that Naruto might be the one. Born he did, but with a power. Kyuubi's soul, which will corrupt him. He has chakra, deep chakra that is similar to, well, Kyuubi, you said, Kushina, said Minato. Something akin to him. Yes, I did, but that doesn't make any sense. Maybe the seal was adjusting to the Kyuubi, or something like that, I don't know. We don't know, we're never too sure. But it is dangerous, we can't risk it, Kushina. What if our son really becomes a world-ending threat? We have to wait and see. Wait and see until he reaches at the age. And at the same time, you have to train Mito for doing the hardest task if possible. No, I won't allow this to happen, Minato. I'm not gonna make you pit our children against one another. But Kushina, I know what you feel. I'm their father as well. Sensei, how can you be so sure that Naruto might be the one that is... I mean... Kid, come on. Are you that dumb? You sealed the Biju's soul within him, and the seal is not working fine. It is a defective seal, kid. The kid might get corrupted by the Kyuubi's soul or taken over in general. Only time will tell. You have to leave him here and go somewhere else to make sure that at least Mito is safe for the time being, and we can determine if he is who we think he is or not. Which I highly doubt he is not, because he is who I think he is. The child of prophecy who is doomed to destroy us all. Sensei, please. There is really no other way? I'm sorry, kid. If there was, I would have told you. Otherwise, I'm sorry, kid. I can't help you out in this matter. Shit. What are we gonna do, Kushina? As Kushina, after crying for a bit, and Minato, after thinking for a bit, hardened his resolve. We have to distance ourselves for the inevitable. If he really is the world-ending denominator here, we have to eradicate him if push comes to shove. Sensei is right. Even if it is hurtful, Kushina, we have to leave. What do you think you're talking about? Prophecies of such extent. Trying to manipulate them, Jiraiya. Or just, implicate your own thinking and thoughts. Could be quite disastrous. As Hiruzen arrived, he said these words to his student. I know what I'm talking about, Sensei. But I highly believe what I said. and I won't go back on my word. I know what I'm talking about. Leave Naruto in my care. I will watch over him, because I believe he also deserves a chance. Because if your theories are proven wrong, then at least you might have still a shot of getting him back. And he might not remember your words by then. As Hiruzen picked up the child and left, as the family decided to leave that night as well, leaving Hiruzen in charge. As years began to go by, Naruto grew up as usual, being ignored and called the pharaoh of the village because of the elders, revealing everything to the people. And Naruto being treated like an outcast, even in his own village. But still, he grew up, and whenever in night he felt like crying, he was soothed by the moonlight. He did not knew why, but he was. Unknown to him, far away on moon, an entity, a being that was trapped and sealed within, was watching over that soul. I can't believe it. He really did it. He brought his father back. Oh, my love, you're finally back. I can't wait to go down and meet you when the time comes, said the being that was emitting this comforting, soothing light. And she was getting enraged as well at the people and his parents, this world's parents, who has abandoned him for the sake of prophecy. As on the other side, Hagoromo Akatsuki, otherwise known as the being as Sage of the Sixth Path, appeared within the seal of Naruto. As there he met the soul of his son, Kurama. Father, what are you doing here? I thought you... Is this an illusion? No, my child. This is not an illusion, and I'm here to restore your chakra back, as the Kyuubi became whole. But what about the girl who has my chakra? Think of it as an exhausted amount of chakra that you exhaust and used, while you have regained your chakra anew. Why are you doing this? Do you want me to free myself or not? By giving me my chakra, because you know I will get myself free and harm this kid. I know, but I would advise you not to. Father, what do you mean by that? This soul that this child possesses, carries, he is someone close to me. Who, father? My father, said Hagoromo as Kyuubi's eyes widened. Wait, you mean the husband of... Yes, the husband of the rabbit goddess, Kaguya Akatsuki, my mother, and mine and Homura's father. I saw my mother fall into deep darkness because of the humans who got jealous of my father and his closeness to my mother. So that is why I used my father's soul as a catalyst to be revived into the elemental nations once more. In this way, I might be able to achieve peace, and not only that, I might also be able to finally heal the wounded heart of my mother, because I saw the darkness consumed her to the point that I had no other choice but to seal her away and create you all. And know this, my son, Shinju in its own is regaining its chakra back from the nature, becoming an entity of its own to meet its father as well, like me. Wait, what? Yes. Mother created Shinju, the 10 tails, with the blood that she took from the corpse of my father and mixing it with her own blood and fill. You mean a human and an Otsutsuki's blood combined to form the Shinju? Yes, Shinju is the rage of my mother, and he will only listen to my father. Not even my mother can control her rage, not unless my father's calmness soothes it. And that is why I brought it back, knowing that there was no other choice for this world, because she is too far gone. And that is why I want you to guide this soul, Kurama. Guide it best, and don't let it turn over darkness. But also don't let it turn to light too much, so that he ends up sacrificing himself for the sake of those who have hurt him and who will hurt him. Because even though he is the child of prophecy and the reincarnation of my father, I won't allow them to harm him. He is close to me. I might have cared for a lot of them, but they have again and again disappointed me. And today, even if they try to as much as to hurt a single prick of his hair, I will literally wage war on the whole elemental nation myself. As Kurama was left stunned and shocked, because his father was the most forgiving and kind-hearted soul that he knew, and he was the one who was saying these words to him. So make sure, Kurama, to raise him right, and do not make any mistakes. As Hagoromo left, we go towards Zetsu, who once again was also being soothed by the moonlight of his mother, as a connection was formed, as the seal was loosened by Hagoromo unknowingly to Kaguya and Zetsu that allowed them to communicate. Zetsu, my child, can you hear my voice? Mother? Is that you? Said both of the sides. Yes, my child. A soul that is important to me has been reincarnated into this world. Both me and Shinju. You mean the Ten-Tails? The husk of the Ten-Tail has been acting up, Mother. There are a lot of cracks, and we could barely see the skin and chakra forming underneath the cracks. Let it be, my child. Because that child, like you, is mine and his. Whose, Mother? My husband's. My Naruto's. Who is reborn in Konoha as Naruto Uzumaki. You mean the Nine-Tailed Soul's Jinchuriki? Yes. He is the reincarnate of my husband's soul. I can sense and feel that soul wherever it is. And I know who it is. He is your father as well. So make sure you are there to protect him, White Zetsu. What? You are created by a part of his flesh, and the black part of you is created by me, my will. As that is when the Zetsu realize its true origin. We will protect our father, Mother. You don't need to worry about anything. Remain in shadows for the time being. Observe, and whenever they try to harm or try to do something bad to him, that is when you only will intervene while carrying out your mission. But Mother, Father contains a part of this Biju that is our target. Use the Inkaku and Ginkaku statues. Those are hard to achieve. They are sealed inside the Land of Fire's temple. I don't know how you're going to achieve that, Zetsu. But for us to be a family once more, you have to do that. I will, Mother. Whatever you wish, it will be done and achieved. I will do as you please. I will have our family reunited, no matter what happens. As now we see Zetsu disappeared, to get a glance of his father's reincarnate, to see that Naruto was sleeping in his apartment, which was a run-down apartment on his own, comfortably under the moonlight gaze. But the same moonlight was not so comforting towards the Namikaze Uzumaki household in the Land of Fire, in a secluded area deep within the woods, as Mito, Kushina, Minato, as well as Jiraiya were having nightmares. Nightmares of them seeing everyone they know and love dead. Naruto amidst of them all standing with tears, as behind him was a huge shadow looming over, and two white eyes like Byakugan piercing through them, and a third eye that was looking through them. And behind that entity, emerged from the shadow, was a beast with a single Sharingan type like eye with his Rinnegan elements that roared and literally caused them to wake up. It was a Biju-like being with 10 tails, and much more stronger and larger than anything they had ever seen, towering even and dwarfing the 9 tails. As now we see, Jiraiya was the last one to wake up after seeing this image, as he was panting heavily, and also sweating a lot. As now we see him arriving downstairs, where he was met by the serious and grim expressions of everyone there. I'm guessing you had a nightmare as well, Jiraiya-sensei? Yeah, it was about Naruto and a woman of sorts standing behind him, and this being that was akin to a Biju. As everyone's eyes went, we had the same dream as well. Sensei, do you think that really Naruto might be? I mean, he was crying. Tears don't matter, kid. Even if the kid doesn't wishes for it to happen. He is the catalyst of the destruction, as we know. We have to put an end to this, Minato. You have to harden your resolve to do what is best for this world, and for its survival. You have to put an end to this. Put an end to that kid's life. Kushina, Minato's, as well as Mito's eyes widen, as Shira said these words with a grave tone and a grave expression. Is there really no other way? I don't wish for this to happen. You have to. There is no other choice. If we allow this to continue and him to grow, the catastrophe will happen and the prophecy will fulfill itself. As now we see, that is when it was decided. As time began to pass by and Naruto reached at the age of 13, he got accumulated into the Team 7, becoming a part of it, and went on many adventures with them. As after the Chunin exams, we see that Sasuke Uchiha deserted the village after gaining a curse mark seal from Orochimaru in the midst of the exams. And after the Konoha Crush events happened and the death of the third Hokage, we see that Minato and the others were called back by the council, and they had no other choice to return. As Naruto one night was resting after the retrieval mission of Sasuke, which had failed, recovering from his wounds, we see that he was literally dragged out in the center heart of the village, where Minato then said, "People of Konohagakure no Sato, and Naruto, if you are listening in there, I, with a deep heart, have to tell you a secret that has been kept from you all. This kid here is my child," as everyone's eyes widen. "And he brings destruction. His birth brings destruction. And he is the Jinchuriki of the soul of the Biju, known as Nine Tails. And no matter what we do, what we try, we have these visions from Kami themselves, that he will be the catalyst of destruction and death everywhere. And that is why, with a heavy heart, we have no other choice but to put an end to him, putting an end to the prophecy once and for all. This way we believe there might be a chance for us all to survive, and for the world to be a better place, and to be finally at peace as the Sage Sama would have wanted." As everyone, after realizing what Naruto was, then agreed, "Maybe we should. He brought that to the third Hokage. His presence here brought that to a lot, since the day he was born. He really is accursed. We have to get rid of him, Hokage-sama. Your noble sacrifice will always be remembered." As Minato, with a heavy heart, then unleashed barrage of Rasengan after Rasengan in the chest of a child who looked at him with wide and hurt eyes. He was about to mouth a words in his hurt, but he couldn't. As now we see, Minato then said, after doing this, as the people left, "Take his body and bury it somewhere safe, Sensei. Somewhere where we can know." As now we see, Jiraiya took this charge and brought Naruto to the Valley of the End. As in the center heart where a huge lake existed, he, using the help of the toads, was able to part the lake, as there he used the toads to dig a huge grave where Naruto was buried. And after doing so, he paid respect. "I'm sorry, kid. Hope you don't take it to heart. This was the only option that we had." As after doing so, we see a few days only went by, as Minato and Kushina had a feeling in their heart alongside Jiraiya that they did something bad. As the Akatsuki, which was now being forced by the Zetsu, was now acting upon to attack the Konohagakure. And that was not the end of it. The husk of the Ten Tails was now raging even more, as it has been getting closer to breaking free and becoming its own entity. As on the other side, we see that Kyuubi was trying its best to heal Naruto, as Naruto was now fully healed but was now in a comatose state. But that wasn't the most worst of it all. The worst that was coming for Konoha was on the moon itself, as the shackles, one after the other, that contained Kaguya were breaking, as the rage-filled and consumed Kaguya was enraged. Her love, her only chance at redemption, her peace was shattered once more by the same humans and their greediness and their pitifulness, and she will this time have revenge. But to her shock and surprise, her children once more appeared in front of her. "Why? Why do you protect them? They have killed your father twice now." "We're not here to protect them, mother. Simply to aid you in what you're going to do." As the seal was now taken back, as both of the children then said, "I'm gonna use the rebirth to make sure that he is reborn and his soul is returned back through the King of Hell. But before that happens, we need to make some adjustment to his memories. We need to awaken the soul of our father and combine it with Naruto's memories, so that he might be able to see for once what has happened to him twice. As Kaguya agrees, as she hugged her children, we are sorry, mother, for what we have done. We were blinded by the justice that our father thought these people should have a chance with. We know now they don't deserve it. We will help you. We will help ourselves. Kaguya was moved to tears, knowing that now she had her whole family, and soon she will have her beloved at her side. She knew what she needed to do. Avenge and get even with this world. And that is when we see back at home Jiraiya and Minato and his family was called by the Toad Elder. As Fukusaka himself arrived, it was such urgency. Why are you here, Pa? Jiraiya, what have you done? What do you mean, Pa? What is going on? I thought the prophecy is over. No, child, the prophecy has started. As everyone was now shocked. You have just become the catalyst to ignite the prophecy, Jiraiya. What have you done? Tell me. No, come there and confess in front of everyone. As Jiraiya and the others, while gulping, arrived in front of the Grand Toad Elder Sage, who would literally yank Jiraiya from his feet, lifting him up as it was now in the hand of the Great Toad Elder Sage, Kamamaru-sama, who was literally squeezing his neck. You, what have you done? You have brought destruction to all of us, to the end of all of us. Why? What could you have done for the sage to betray us as well? What do you mean by that, Great Toad Elder Sage? You played God, Jiraiya. You messed with the prophecy, and now we should all face the consequences of doing so. What do you mean? I don't get it. The end of the world has started, and there is nothing we can do to stop it, Jiraiya. Confess your deeds. Fine, I do confess. After finding out that the child, one of them, mainly a male child, will be the catalyst with the power that could bring an end to this world, I had no other choice but to make sure it doesn't harm Konoha. So I had to bend the prophecy a bit while telling them the whole truth. I mean, I did tell them it was Naruto who was the only male. Not like this. The prophecy was that for you to protect him from harm, not the other way around, Jiraiya. You have done the unthinkable. Because of your mistake, now the whole world is at stake. As that is when Hagoromo appeared. Sage, shut up, you toad. I told you that you shouldn't reveal the divine propositions to anyone, because you would interfere, but you, because of your weakness, told this human, who in his all greediness did all this, and harmed one soul that he shouldn't have. Soul that is close to me and the Bijus and my mother. You mean, yes, Naruto was the reincarnation of our father, Naruto, and he will be revived, but after our revenge is extracted from you all, and so does our power. Your power? I brought chakra into this world, kid, after taking it away from my mother, in hopes of bringing peace that my father desired. But now I'm going to strip it away from you all, knowing that you have grown accustomed to that power and think that it is your right to own it, which it is clearly not. It is a borrowed power from me, your lender, and I am here to reclaim it back. As now with these words, the sage said before leaving, beware for war, and the wrath that you have brought upon you. With these words said, Minato and everyone was kicked out, their contracts confiscated from them by the toads. As now we see back at home, Jiraiya was stunned, and so was Minato and Kushina, as Mito raged on. See, I told you don't believe this fucking idiot. What have you done, Sensei? Why did you not tell us the whole thing? I thought I was trying to protect you. I thought I was doing the right thing, Minato. Trust me when I say this, I don't trust you, Sensei. No, I don't. The world then has begun, as you said, and it has begun with the death of Naruto. The tears that he was crying was because he felt betrayed, and because of him, this all happened, because of your choice. As now we see, the Akatsuki and the armies of Zetsu's attacked Konoha, as they were discussing, and amidst them all, as they were fighting, the other nations were forced to join in, as they too were being invaded by the armies of Zetsu. And only a little bit of them were able to survive, and those who did joined forces together to form the Shinobi Alliance. And now we see, as the war continued on between the Akatsukis and Zetsus, the Zetsus even killed off the Akatsuki members who were no longer useful and overtook them. As now we see the original Zetsu controlling his minor parts, leading the army, waiting patiently for its mother and the Ten Tails revival. And Ten Tails finally was the next target to break free, even further dwindling their numbers to the point that they were now reduced to only a few thousands now in the whole world, as those who died, their chakra was stripped away from them. As now we see, the Kages were gathered, and so was the every shinobi that was there, hiding away in Otogakure, in Orochimaru's one of layers, in the underground. What are we gonna do? This is all a disaster, all thanks to Jiraiya, who was dead now, said Minato. The Ten Tails is free. It is roaming away, Minato. We have to find a way to put an end to this. I mean, Kona has always come out on top, but how are we all gonna survive this? We believe in Will of Fire, but the sage itself has warned us that the war is upon us, and the wrath of the Rabbit Goddess. She's the next catastrophe that is to come to us. That is wrong. She's not coming alone. We all are. As the Ten Tails ripped apart the top of the land, making sure its eye was visible to them, which filled them with dread as a portal opened from which Kaguya and her children walked, who were carrying Naruto's husk in their hands, which laid unconsciously there, tears still visibly dried on the skin, a part of it, as Naruto's body was preserved as it was buried. As everyone's eyes widened. Do you mean that child that began it all? Of course. Their sensei was the one who made them believe they were doing the right thing. And today in front of you, Naruto will be revived. And he will be the one who will be able to judge you, because he has the right to do so. You all are the culprits for his death twice. Your ancestors first, and now you all. And now it is time for your punishment to be decided by him. As Naruto was revived thanks to the help of the King of Hell, as after the revival, Naruto's souls combined, we see Naruto waking up with the memories of past and future. Shinju, you really created, huh? My doodles that I made, Kaguya-chan. Naruto, you're back, she said, as she decreased her age to match his, as both of them hugged. Of course I am, my love. Wow, Hagoromo, right? Homura. Both of you have grown old. Last time I saw you, you were only babies. It is honor to meet you, father. No, my child. It is lovely to meet you, is what you should have said. As both of the kids were happy, as the Shinju was happy as well, and to make an being that was so strong and powerful, able to trample the whole village with a single swing of its tail, jump like an excited puppy, was quite amazing for them to watch, and at the same time terrifying, as they watched Naruto pat the huge being as it lowered its head lovingly towards the said being that it called father. As finally Kaguya then said, my love, before our reunion, there is a thing that I would like to ask you. What do you wish for them? Those who have harmed you in the past and in the future, those who you try to protect. As Naruto looked at them, and sighed, and looked back. Those who are innocent, please, no harm to them. As for the rest, he said, looking towards his parents, do what you must. I don't care any longer. Because I know these people will just continue to make the same mistake over and over again. Because of their greed, because of their selfishness, they will harm many others who are innocent. Well said, my love. Well said indeed. As after saying these words, we see that Naruto was taken by Kaguya as her children, their children, took away the chakra from everyone and killed those who were involved in the corrupt power of greed. Only a few hundred souls were alive now in the whole world, and now they knew they have to come together to form a clan of their own and to start from zero once more, because it was the end and the beginning of a new world at the same time. and they also did not have any shinobi powers or abilities, meaning now they had to survive on their own. And thankfully, they were left with a lot of tools and resources that were built by the previous generations that they could carry on. As on the other side, now an immortal fight Naruto, after many million years, living with his family, watched from afar, so far on the moon that the world has gone far enough ahead, and developed, thanks to the little bit of chakra left there, quirks of their own, powers that they called quirks, as the world blossomed over the death of the previous one. Long forgotten was the elemental nations, and the world of quirks still regened over. But Naruto, it didn't matter any longer. He was now an omnipotent being with his wife and the kids, who enjoyed their immortalness away from all of this mess, and enjoyed being together once and for all. But one thing he was unaware of was that Kaguya, she wouldn't allow, alongside her kids and Zetsu and Shinju, anyone to harm Naruto, because they have already lost him twice, and they wouldn't never allow anyone to harm him again, even if he was immortal and unkillable. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this short movie off, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, as this is Apollo Uchiha and I'm signing off for the days. Peace!